What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got lots of lovely news all about new One Piece cards, including Revolutionaries, and I have made it very clear that we are... well, I, at least, am excited about the Revolutionaries. Oh, I'll tell you what. Why don't we start there, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't we start with a new Revolutionary? There we go. Why don't we start with EMPORIO Ivankov? I have done all these translations myself. I've checked with, like, Orange Samurai D, who checks with the Discord. But I've done all of these myself. I can read these cards. I'm delighted. What we've got here is a 4-cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And this one is a little bit awkward. The translation was a bit awkward, but it's activate main once per turn. If this character has 7,000 power or more, you may play a 5,000 power or lower Revolutionary Army character other than EMPORIO Ivankov from your hand, obviously for free. But this is where it gets very interesting. Because, of course, like 5,000 power, as I always say, is a magic number. Leaders have 5,000 power, tie goes to the attacker in a fight. So 5,000 power is like the minimum where you can start expecting some attacks to go through. Now, Ivankov has this straight away. Now, you need to put Ivankov up to 7,000 power, whack a couple of Don on there, or do something else, you're fine. Here's where it gets interesting. Because we're going to be playing it with Bello Betty, who's got that skill whereby you can discard a Revolutionary Army character from your hand and boost 3 of your characters that either are Revolutionary Army or have trigger by 3,000 power. Now, here's where it gets awkward but interesting. Because, of course, if you play a weak character with Ivankov, you can then boost that character with your leader, and then you're playing a 3,000 power character, but it's actually a 6,000 power character. So even though you're playing a weak character, you're still playing a character that should be able to attack and get through, unless your opponent starts countering or blocking. That's awesome. But it's kind of awkward. Because if you use Bello Betty to boost up Ivankov, then you will be over 7,000 power. You'll be at 8. But you then have used your skill, so you cannot then boost the character that you play with Ivankov, which is going to be awkward. My preferred way to do this, most of the time, I believe, is going to be whacking a couple of Don on Ivankov, getting them up to 7,000 power, playing a character for free, and then boosting up with Bello Betty. So I play someone like Koala with 3,000 power, don't have to pay, do get the play skill that lets me lower one of my opponent's characters by 3,000, which is awesome, and then I've got a 6,000 power Koala, and Ivankov was at 7, and maybe I still boost Ivankov up to 10 with Bello Betty, but yeah, I love this. The fact that I'm playing a character for free is great, but the fact that I'm playing a weaker character for free, but then can immediately boost it up with my leader, I'm playing Revolutionary Armies in OP-05, although I'm probably everyone else's as well at this point. Boo! I don't know. Hopefully it will work out quite nicely. But we've got ourselves a DOnquixote DOFLAMINGO. 7 cost, 8,000 power. And we've got, during your opponent's turn, once per turn, you can pay 1 to rest one of your opponent's 6 cost or lower characters. How mean is that? On your opponent's turn, you can be like, rest that dude you're about to attack with. Now, it's only 6 cost or lower, so it's not everybody, but it's an 8,000 power character, decent attacker, but then on your opponent's turn, you can just pay 1, you're obviously going to keep a Don ready, you can just pay 1, and then rest one of your opponent's characters. This is going to get really annoying for your opponent really quickly. Also worth bearing in mind, of course, remember, we do have the DOnquixote DOFLAMINGO leader that came around in OP-04, which has got the skill at the end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Don cards as active. This would obviously be a wonderful combo in that particular leader's deck, because your leader is going to guarantee that you've got the Don available to use, and then you can use this skill with that Don to rest one of your opponent's characters. I genuinely love the idea of just like it goes to your opponent's turn and you're like, rest your best 6 cost or lower character. Ha! Yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. Oh, I should say, sorry, I keep saying opponent's turn. It is opponent's attack. Obviously, that impacts the timing very, very clearly because you can't just immediately go to their turn, but the first time they attack, you're going to activate this skill. So they essentially get kind of one attack, and then you get to take out their best 6 cost or lower character. Important side note, I've made it clear, job's a good one. Let's move on to Monkey to Garp, Blue Monkey to Garp. 3 cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 2,000, which is quite nice. And on play, draw 2 cards, and then return 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order. Yeah, really like it. Now, you're not actually getting a card advantage here because you are basically drawing 2, getting rid of 2, you're ending with the same number of cards. And similarly, this is no good in, say, a Nami deck where you're trying to mill yourself out because you draw 2 cards, put 2 cards back, and you're at the same number of cards you were. This is good for exactly 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it's got counter plus 2,000. It's always good to have counter plus 2,000. We know at this stage, right, you're going to have 0, 1, or 2,000 power counter. That is the way it works. You're going to want some 2,000 power counter. It's always going to be good for that. But also, draw 2, put 2 cards at the bottom of your deck. Yeah. Down with that, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely down with that. You're not gaining card advantage, but you are cycling cards, you're seeing more cards. With the counter plus 2,000 as well, I could see this making its way into some decks. Now, we are getting ourselves a new OROBI here, and now that I've finished the manga and gone through the Wano saga, I'm good. Although it is a Straw Hat Crew card, that is very important. And we've got 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, if you have 8 or more Don on your field, KO up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 3 or less. Now, this is very interesting because, of course, you're not going to be able to do this for the first couple of turns. You know, turn 2, you should have 4 Don on the field if you went second. But you're not going to have 8 Don on the field. It's going to take a couple of turns to get up to 8 Don. But then, by the same token, purple likes shuffling Don back. So it's, you know, Don minor skills. So it's not just a case of, well, as soon as you get to 8 Don on the field, you're fine. You're going to need to be able to plan this. But we've got plenty of ways in purple to put extra Don onto the field. And obviously, you would use this skill before you use any Don minor skills. You know, bump one of your opponent's characters, then use a skill that puts your Don back in your deck. You know, the sequencing is going to be important. Guarantee if this sees play, there will be people that use a Don minor skill and then look at their board and they're like, oh, I don't have enough Don to actually do this anymore. That's really annoying. It's going to happen. We all do it. And I know it's an obvious mistake and people watching this are going to be like, I'd never do that. Yeah, you will. We all will. We all make these silly mistakes playing card games. Let's just hope the game in which we do it isn't too important. And I like this, honestly. I like the fact that every single turn, if I sequence this correctly, every single turn I just get to KO a 3 cost character. This is really, really good. We've seen plenty of cards that are seeing a bunch of play because they can get rid of weak characters. You know, think of something like Nico Robin. Sees a bunch of play from OP-01, Don X1 when attacking. KO an opponent's character with 3,000 power or less. Well, this is 3 cost, but it's, you know, similar kind of thing. And actually, and a lot of the time this gives a greater range of characters, but this is every turn. Love it. Genuinely love it. Love that basically every turn I'm like, you're gone. You're gone. Whether it's support characters, whether it's weak blockers, whether it's something like Baby 5, who we know is coming in this set and is going to be really good for DOnquixote pirates, because, you know, sit there every turn and searches out a DOnquixote pirates. You're going to want to get rid of Baby 5. This is a great way of getting rid of Baby 5. Love it, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely love it. And as I record the last one that's been revealed, but there may be more before I upload. If there are, I will try and add them in. We've got ourselves Nefertari Cobra. And what we've got here is Black Nefertari Cobra, 2 cost, 1,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and you've got blocker. which is good. Nice, cheap blocker. Exactly the kind of thing we just saw OROBI would be wanting to try and bump off, honestly. But then we've also got a skill when playing trash the top card of your deck. Now, there's two ways to look at this. One way to look at this is, I don't want to trash the top card of my deck. This is a downside for having a decent, cheap blocker. Another way to look at this is, we've got cards, and a classic example I always go to is Monkey D. Luffy, which is a black card, which very may well see, play in this particular deck, where, yeah, you do want to have cards in the trash. Because Luffy, if you've got 7 cards in your trash, you can put 7, or at least 7, you can put 7 cards at the bottom of your deck and restand Luffy. And then you don't restand next turn, so you essentially get 2 uses in one turn, and then for as long as you can keep putting 7 cards under, you can restand, but after that you're going to have to take a turn off. So if you're playing Luffy, and according to the black deck list we see in Japan at the moment, people are absolutely playing Luffy, yeah, you're going to want to do this, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to want to do this. So this is cool. I like this. Blocker, house to pad your trash, which you're going to want to do for some decks. I'm in on this, ladies and gentlemen. I am in on it. So there we go. That's what you need to know. Those are the new cards, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me anything you want to tell me about these cards in the comment section. Tell me if you're as excited about Revolutionary Armies as I am. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. Oh, wait. They have revealed a new card. They've done it, ladies and gentlemen. They've done it. I initially got hyper excited. I thought we were actually getting a Shushu card and I was going to lose my mind. It's not Shushu, it's Holy, who, of course, it was in the Skypiea arc, which obviously that's the arc we're kind of hitting in OP-05, so I get it. That makes way more sense. For a second I thought it was Shushu and I was going to lose my mind with excitement. Never mind. Free cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. Absolutely just completely standard vanilla card. So that's a little bit sad. It's Sky Island type. Yay. And animal type, if that's relevant to anything you're thinking of. It's not terribly exciting, alright? Although that dog is pretty cool. But does that mean we can get a Shushu card one day? Like, that's the dream. That is my One Piece card I want. I want a Shushu card. It's probably going to be a rubbish vanilla card like this one. But I do want to just point out before we finish, vanilla cards do see play. Vanilla cards that are the right type to be searched out by other cards do see play. This does have 5,000 power, which is kind of, the minimum you need to be able to start attacking and trying to get attacks through. So do bear in mind here that yes, it is a vanilla card. No, it's not terribly exciting, but there is absolutely a possibility that this does then go and see some play. So I do just kind of want that on the record, that this could be a card that does see play in some decks. If those decks, want Sky Island or animal cards, this could work. That's on the record. We're good. Right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all these cards in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.